guys, what's up? So today we are going to look at enterprise blockchain, and so we are going to discuss enterprise blockchains. Now, what are going to be the blockchains that are likely going to use significantly in most of your projects? There are a lot of other blockchains platform out there, but in reality, when it comes to big boys of blockchain, I'm going to go through the top five. The purpose is not to go through these platforms in detail at the moment, but kind of just to get to know them. That is the purpose. It's not to actually get into the details. Maybe in future, uh, not maybe, mostly in future videos, I'm going to cover each of these platforms in detail. We'll go through the architecture and everything in detail. So this is just to get a quick overview, just what are the blockchains that are in the market at the moment, which according to me are the top five. So let's get started. So let's go and cover the top five blockchains. The top five would be Ethereum, R3 Corda, Hyperledger, Ripple, and Quorum. Now, Ethereum is permissionless, and R3 Corda is permissioned, Hyperledger as well, it's permissioned. Ripple is permissioned again. Quorum is interesting blockchain because it is built off Ethereum, and that could essentially implement it more as an hybrid approach. So now Ethereum. Now Ethereum is the most widely used open source blockchain platform out there, mainly used for building and implementing smart contract functions. This was initiated by a young Canadian Vitalik Buterin in 2013, and this went live in July 2015. So Ethereum is very famous, and a lot of that ICO boom that you saw in 2017 is actually was created off Ethereum. So this is one of the most famous enterprise blockchains out there, Ethereum. One interesting thing is the Corda data structure is not blockchain based. It is not it is not as if that data in blockchain based data structure that we have seen uh, is that the data is actually put into the blocks and then it is chained together. But in this case, in this is a case wherein you don't have that kind of data structure. So, and mainly it really focuses on enterprise financial sector. So this is a blockchain which was created by a consortium of I think 60 plus banks that they got together, and they created consortium, and they wanted to build this blockchain for the financial sector. But later they have also gone into other sectors like insurance, healthcare, and etc. So we'll definitely discuss. This is very interesting to me, and we'll definitely discuss that, and I'll definitely create some material out of it. Let's get on to the others. Now, one of my favorite blockchains per se, in the sense that it's an open source collaborative effort. It is again more consortium based by Linux Foundation, and the goal was to create a portfolio of enterprise distributed ledger, and that is essentially frameworks and code bases. And it is very modular framework too. By modular, I mean that you could sort of put together what you need from different tools and code bases and consensus methods to make your blockchain work at your enterprise. So this is one of the you could find a lot of material to learn if anybody wants to learn Hyperledger Fabric. It is backed by IBM, and it's an umbrella project by Linux Foundation. And under the umbrella project, there are a lot of, you could contribute your own code, or you could there are a lot of projects, in the sense that there are 5 frameworks which has been contributed by different parties, different companies like Intel, and there are many. We'll cover those again. And uh, this is interesting, and it is more open source, and you will get to know a lot about them. So this is about Hyperledger projects, which is very interesting to me. Ripple. Now, Ripple was originally known as OpenCoin in 2012. In 2015, some of the financial companies said, hey, this might be something interesting, and we need to take this to a new, different level. And hence they created Ripple. The goal of this OpenCoin was to connect to the banks and act as a payment provider as well, and exchange digital asset basically through RippleNet. Now, RippleNet is nearly free global transactions, and it has a zero chargebacks. By chargebacks, I mean that someone buys something and basically say the service sucked or they never got it. So they do a chargeback on their debit or credit card, and the vendor who is at the receiving end, whether justified or not justified, but the payment is essentially taken back from them. Now, global payments are basically initiated with what's called Ripple cryptocurrency. XRP is the symbol for that. So this is Ripple, and I believe this is going to go to a lot of places. Now, at last, that I wanted to cover is Quorum. Now, this is developed by JP Morgan, and they are leveraging the Ethereum blockchain. This was designed to handle those use cases which requires high speed but also high throughput, and they are able to process those private transactions. It is also able to go on chain and off chain, which is interesting, and it is built again on the Ethereum blockchain. So we saw the 5 big boys in the Ethereum blockchain, and more or less, if you are a blockchain enthusiast and you wish to work in blockchain space, I'm sure you will get. I'm sure you come across any one of them, and there are most of the projects that we see in the that we see in the industry are based out of one of these platforms. So thanks, guys. Thanks again for joining, for tuning in this channel, and I will appreciate if you like or subscribe this channel, and because that would make us more motivated to create some good contents like this. Thank you very much.